Last night on NRL 360, Mike Maguire lit the fuse, but Billy Slater wouldn't bite. Boys, was Madge having a crack at the Queensland coach?
Oh, there's no question in the world he was having a crack at Billy Slater, and I thought it was hilarious as poor old Ritchie lost his way with the questions. Billy pretended butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. The truth is, Billy gave as good as he got throughout his career, and this animosity has been building and bubbling below the surface for a long time.
What do you mean he give as good as he...
Well, as a player, Billy was probably the greatest player in a particular position that I've ever seen. Like as a fullback, he was so far ahead of any other fullback. He was great. But he got 10 charges throughout his career. He was known for some grubby incidents. You know, he'd slide across and put his foot out for kicking. The way he caught his bombs. I remember the Origin series of 2013 where he ripped back and gave Mitchell Pearce one and he got off. They said it was accidental at the time, but it wasn't accidental because his comment on the field that could be heard through sports ears, there's no doubt in the world it was a deliberate act. So then Billy gets there last night and says, well, I didn't say anything. Well, he did say something. He spoke on Channel 9 about the mums and dads. And there's no question in the world the Blues it was directed at Billy, and it's the truth.
I find it a bit galling that Billy's got the temerity to question the ethics of New South Wales players with a rap sheet that he conjured up during his career, which, let's be honest, as great as he was, that's a pretty grubby rap sheet.
We are beating you by so much at the moment. You're worried about... You guys are worried about a bloke that retired 5 years ago in his playing career, bringing up his rap sheet. What about his coaching?
Gordy,
7 games and 2 series.
He's going to have a dig at us.
No. What about his rap sheet as a coach? Does he go out and coach that way? So shouldn't he be judged now on how he's coaching, not how he played?
If he wants to throw the first barb, he's going to have to get one back.
No, he didn't throw the first barb. He said, I don't want to comment.
But he did comment.
And then he's on Channel... No, he didn't through the game. He didn't as a Queensland...
Well, he did on Channel 9.
He didn't as a Queensland coach. He didn't influence any judiciary.
Good.
After it, with his job,
after
it, with his job, he would have got asked a question like we all did here, and he answered it. And he said it's not a good look. And I think most of the game come up with that line as well.
Don't you agree that Madge is entitled to stick up for his players? And the Glass House's comment...
It's an ivory tower.
It's 100% right.
You don't agree with the Glass House's comment?
Because
No.
As a player,
we've all got that.
But mate, you talk about Billy's coaching record, and you're spot on, mate.
Well, then that's how we judge him now, aren't we? He hasn't played for 5 years.
But the comments were made about Joseph Sawali and the tackle and the fact that they perceived...
I didn't like it as
Reece
a Queenslander.
Walsh was targeted.
I didn't like it as a Queenslander. If I was a Queensland coach, they would have got both barrels there and then. I don't know how he bit his tongue for so long. You've got to protect your players. Madge is protecting his. I don't know why the pile-on is for Billy.
I don't think anyone's criticising Billy for the comments he made after the game, because he didn't speak about it. And even what he said, there's nothing wrong with it. But in saying that, Madge is entitled to say what he said because it's 100% true.
Well, he didn't name anybody.
Who, Madge?
Once Billy went on the record and had a crack at us, i.e. New South Wales, and our antics and ethics, well, then I think Billy's now open to cop the same serve back across the border. I don't see why he's being protected like this.
Do you not understand, Gordy?
I think that last year you guys said, and I think New South Wales legends said, we're going to bash Reece Walsh. So it's common knowledge, right? And we sat here and they said, well, this is what we've got to do to him. And then you have Spud saying, oh, the painted hairs and the eyebrows, let's go give it to him. And then they go get him and they knock him out. And Billy goes, well, hold on, he's targeted. And then it comes back, I'm on Billy's side, and so was Queensland, and probably half of New South Wales, right? And so was half of New South Wales, you blokes.
Listen, Reece was targeted, and he gets targeted every game. Yeah, and Suaalii got it wrong. But at the end of the day, if you're a New South Wales player, a coach or a fan, and you watch what happened with Suaalii, and then you look back and everyone's watched Billy's career, and everyone knows that he's one of the greats. And as a coach, he's an incredible coach. But there's no denying that he had his own rap sheet, and it is a bit of glass houses, and Madge is calling him out on it, and I love it, and everyone loves it because it brings more attention to the game. But you can't say Madge is wrong. Surely you can't say
Madge is wrong. Billy Teflon Bill because nothing sticks.
Well, you guys are trying to get something to stick right now. Maybe he needs a new saucepan or something.
All right, well, the Whiz Kid returns for Queensland and he's got no fears about another Blues ambush.
Feel good. It's good to get back out here into Toowoomba and see all the Queenslanders coming out to support. So it brings a smile to your face being out here, and I'm glad to be back in camp now. And if I had any doubts or I was scared, I wouldn't pull on the Queensland jersey. You know, they need a team out there that's willing to put their body on the line and do whatever for their state. So excited to build the week again.
Have you been impressed with the way the game's handled it since? Like, the coach has been very strong on it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you can get hit in the head, like, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be play on or, you know, whatever people are trying to say. He sent me a nice message and, you know, I sent him a nice one too back as well. So at the end of the day, you want to go out there and you want to, you know, represent your state with pride and you want to do whatever you can for your team and, you know, things happen.
Reece Walsh is good to go. He's got the rockstar reception. And as I said last night, I do not have a doubt in the world that this kid is going to turn up and put in a 5-star performance. He is a sensation, and I expect nothing less. I'm not worried about his concussion in game one. I know that a few people are, but he looks ready to go. He looks confident. He looks fit, and his mindset looks spot on. So I don't have any doubts. You guys have any?
I've got some doubts. Because I think when the going is good, Reece Walsh is a superstar. When he's been clobbered around the melon a couple of times, will he come back gun-shy, wary or hesitant? He's a cocky kid. I get it. That's one of his great qualities. But could it also mean they're the types that worry deep down? He's copped a few wax crawls.
Yeah, he has. I said going into Origin one day that the greatest thing that Reece Walsh needed at the moment was to be reintroduced to Billy Slater. Billy Slater will get inside his head. He'll have him ready to go. It's also a sign of his toughness too, because we always talk about Reece Walsh's, you know, the breathtaking speed and ability and silky skills, but here he's backing up from a sickening shot, and his first game back is in Origin 2. Like, it speaks of his mental capacity.
Well, I mean, every great player in any sport, athletes, they got a lot of confidence, but they've got arrogance about them too. Like, you need that arrogance, you need that confidence to be bigger and better than anyone else. Gordy, surely you've got no doubts.
Yeah, look, obviously the first run, Melbourne, it's obviously a different stadium they play. They're probably dewy, cold, wet, probably not a great night for the fullbacks. The ball might swell there, but I don't think that Reece Walsh will go into this game, any game in the future, thinking of what happened back then. I think he plays his natural game. I reckon, if anything, he will adjust. And it'll be harder for that centre to get to him.
One thing's for sure, after that hit from Suaalii on Walsh, the Blues haven't held back. In all their press conferences, all the players are saying, no, we're going to continue to target him. There's been no holding back on what their intentions are, even after that incident in game one. Are we surprised by that?
No, it's a fine line though. You said it last night, Gordy, you know, like everyone out there on the field will be targeted in some way, shape or form. But the Blues have got to get it right too, because that shot from Suaalii, it was inches off, but ultimately it cost him any chance of victory. So there's no use going out and being brain dead about it and just going after him. It's got to be done correctly.
Yeah, it's got to be calculated. Like, obviously I was one of those players that sometimes you go there and you're an enforcer and you got to play with pain and, you know, and then if you get it wrong, the consequences of letting your teammates down, I've been sent off. In a stadium. It's still the worst feeling that I've ever had. You don't need to let down the 16 players, you let down your state. And that's what, you know, Suaalii's thinking about. So if the 17 New South Wales players are going out there, yeah, get into everybody.